girls around me and they're waking up the rocket. Keep up. Why you mad? Fix your face. Ain't my fault they all be jacking. Keep up. Players only. Come on, put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girl, what y'all trying to do?
Math morning! Mr. Jerk is back at it again. Did you know that cats love to ride Roombas? What's a Roomba? These little vacuums that go around your house. Cats love them. I don't have a Roomba. I don't have a cat. But I do enjoy watching these videos. Alright, today, equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. Let's go. Parallel. That's the first word right here. Parallel. This is an important word. Two lines in the same plane that never intersect. So intersect, that means cross. So these two lines are never going to touch each other. Let me give you an example. So y equals 2x minus 5. So if I graph that, I start with the y-intercept, which is minus 5. So I start here, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. Bam. My slope is 2. That means up 2 to the right 1. 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 And I can continue that forever. Now I'm going to draw a straight line that connects all those points. Bam. Magic. Connected them all. Alright, let me do this other line. Y equals 2x plus 4. So I need to do the y-intercept first. So I start here. It was plus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I put my dot right there. And the slope is 2, which means I go up 2 to the right 1. Up 2 to the right 1. Up 2 to the right 1. I can go the other way too. Down 2 to the left 1. 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 Now I need to connect all these lines, all these dots with a line. Bam, done. So now I have two lines that are parallel. Why are they parallel? They're never going to touch. If I go to any of the points I made, I know the slope, it was up 2 to the right 1. Up 2 to the right 1. If I go to the same point on the other line, it's the same exact rate of change. Up 2 to the right 1. Up 2 to the right 1. So they're changing at the same rate, so they're never going to get closer together or farther apart. They're going to stay the same distance away from each other, and they'll never intersect. A key point you really need to know is that two lines are parallel if and only if they have the same slope. So if you look over here, this slope was 2, so is that slope was 2. So if they have the same exact slope, they're going to be parallel. I could look at these equations without even graphing them, and if I see the same slope, I just know that they're going to be parallel. You can just tell right from looking at it. Alright? So again, very important, same slope, parallel. That's the most important part of this part of the video. Awesome. So this says, write an equation of the line that passes through the point 4, 7. So I have 4, 7. And is parallel to the line y equals 5x minus 3. Y equals 5x minus 3. Alright, so we want parallel. If you remember, that means it's the same exact slope as this line, right? So this slope is 5, so I know my other equation should have a slope of 5. Bam, first part. So I need a line with the slope of 5 that goes through this point over here. This is x, and that's a y. Alright? So if you remember this equation, y equals mx plus b, y equals mx plus b, from the last video, I just need to plug in what I already have. So I just identified that 5 is the slope, so I can put in 5 for the m. Now my y is 7, so 7 equals, my m is 5, my x is 4, and I need to find my b. Alright, now I can just solve this thing. 7 equals 5 times 4 is 20 plus b. To get b by itself, I need to move this 20 to the other side. So I'll do minus 20 minus 20. That cancels. My b equals 7 minus 20 is negative 13. Negative 13 equals b. So I have my m is 5, my b is negative 13. So y equals mx plus b, y equals mx plus b. When you write this, you leave the m and the x, but the m is 5. So y equals 5x plus b. b is negative 13, so I'll just write minus 13. Bam, boom, pow, done. I know these lines are parallel because they have the same slope. They're both 5, but their y-intercepts are different. So that's negative 3, that's negative 13. Parallel lines, boom, done. I told you cats love Roombas. I told you. Alright, so we talked about parallel. Now we're talking about perpendicular. So this word perpendicular means two lines that intersect to form a right angle. A right angle that is also 90 degrees. All horizontal and vertical lines are perpendicular. So horizontal, that means a line like that. Vertical, it means like that. So lines that cross or intersect and they form a 90-degree angle. So that's 90 degrees right there. That's perpendicular. These two lines over here are perpendicular. So let me graph them for you. Y equals negative 2x plus 5. So the y-intercept is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bam, it's right there. The slope is negative 2. That means down 2 to the right 1. 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 Down 2, right 1. I can go forever. I'm going to connect these with a line now. Now that is a beautiful line. Let me do this other one. Y equals 1/2 x minus 2. So I start at minus 2 for the y-intercept. 1/2, that means I go up 1 to the right 2. 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 And that goes on forever. Now let me connect those with a line. Another beautiful line. Mr. Durkis, great job. So these two lines cross, and I said they need to form a right angle that's 90 degrees. And it looks like they do. Right? I'd say that's about 90 degrees. And it would be perfectly if I was a machine, a robot. I'm just a human, so sometimes it's not perfect. But it looks like 90 degrees to me. And if you remember, when lines were parallel, they had the same slope. So we know slope has something to do if these are parallel or perpendicular. So the first line was, the slope was negative 2, and the second one was 1/2. So what's this relationship? Let's find out. So two lines are perpendicular if and only if their slopes are negative reciprocals. What is a negative reciprocal? Whew. So reciprocal, that is when you have a fraction, let's say 2/5. The reciprocal is if you flip it, so 5/2. And if it's negative, you make it negative. If it started as negative, it would end up positive. So negative reciprocal, you flip the fraction and make it negative. If we look over here, we start with negative 2. That can really be negative 2/1. So if we flip it, it becomes 1/2. And it started as negative and it ends as positive. So a perpendicular line has a negative reciprocal. And in this case, we went from negative 2/1. We flipped it. It became 1/2. And we changed the sign. So it started as negative and it ends up as positive. So let's try an example of this. Write an equation of the line that passes through 6, -1. 6, -1. and is perpendicular to y equals 3x plus 2. Alright, so this is the point. We got an x and a y. This is the equation that we want to be perpendicular to. The slope is 3. We need to find the negative reciprocal of 3. Alright, so we start with 3. That's really 3 over 1. Any number you put 1 on the bottom, it's the same number. So when we make the reciprocal, the first thing we do is we flip the fraction 1 over 3. And then it's the negative reciprocal, so it has to be the opposite sign of this. This is positive, so it has to be negative. So my slope for my perpendicular line will be negative 1 over 3. Now I need to plug it into an equation, alright? So we have y equals mx plus b, y equals mx plus b. My m we just found out, negative 1 over 3. Negative 1 over 3. Now I'll take this point up here and put that into the equation. So my y is negative 1. My m, negative 1 over 3. My x is 6. And I need to find the b. Now I simplify this. So on the left side, I still have negative 1. I need to multiply negative 1 over 3 times 6. So I do negative 1 times 6. That's negative 6 over 3 plus b. Simplify again. Negative 6 divided by 3, that's going to be negative 2. So I have negative 1 equals negative 2 plus b. To get b by itself, I need to do the opposite of this. I'll do plus 2 plus 2. That cancels. And I'm left with negative 1 plus 2 is going to be 1 equals b. So b equals 1. My slope is negative 1 over 3. I need to put it in this equation. Y equals mx plus b. Again, I don't write the y, I don't write the x, but I put the m in. It's going to be negative 1 over 3 x. My b is 1, so plus 1. Bang, boom, pow, done. And if I look at my original equation, it was y equals 3x plus 2. So I started off with 3, and I ended up with negative 1 over 3, so that's the negative reciprocal. And the y-intercepts are different. When they're perpendicular, they don't have to be different, but in this case they are, and that is all right. Okay, good. Moving on. Example 3. Determine which of the following lines, if any, are parallel or perpendicular. So A, all right, I'll write some columns. A, this is the first one. We got, let me draw a better line. A. This is already in y equals mx plus b, right? Mx plus b. It says y equals negative 2x plus 5. When I want to find out if lines are parallel or perpendicular, I'm looking for the slope. So in this one is easy, right? M is right there. M equals negative 2. I'm going to take that and compare it to the other ones that I find. Alright, let me mix it out. Let me change my pen color. The next one, B. This was 2y minus x equals 3. Well, that's not in slope-intercept form, so I need to change it to make it in that form. So I want to get y by itself, so I'll do plus x on both sides, plus x. These cancel, and I'm left with 2y equals 3 plus x, or I can say x plus 3. Now to get the y by itself, I need to divide by 2. Divide that by 2. And I'll divide that by 2. That cancels. Y equals x divided by 2. This is really 1x. So I can say 1/2 x plus 3 over 2. So this is the slope-intercept form. Now this right there is my slope. So m equals 1/2. Bam. Got it. Alright, I'll change it one more time. My last one, what do we got? 2x plus y equals 1. Not in slope-intercept form. I need to get the y by itself, so I'll do minus 2x minus 2x. That cancels. So I'm left with y on this side, and that equals minus 2x plus 1. The slope is going to be the number in front of the x, which is -2. Alright, so I've got my three slopes. This is -2, 1/2, -2. So which are any of these lines parallel? So they have to have the same slope. So -2 and -2, that's right there. They're the same. So I can write line A is parallel, this is C, to line C. So I'm going to write it like this. This is called shorthand, mathematical shorthand. Line A is parallel to line C. These two lines, they look like they're parallel. That means parallel. So line A is parallel to line C. What about perpendicular? That's the negative inverse, right? Well, this is -2, and that's really -2 over 1. If I do the negative inverse, I flip it, it becomes 1 over 2, and it was negative, and it becomes positive. So 1/2 and -2, those are negative inverses. So that means B is perpendicular to A and C. So I'm going to write that with the shorthand. B is perpendicular to line A and C. So I can write A and C. So again, this means parallel. And this means perpendicular. Alright? Bam, boom, pow. Bang, poo, beep, boom, pow. Awesome. Moving on. Alright, I want you to pause the video and try this one by yourself. Pause it. I swear, pause it. I'm telling you, pause it. Okay. So, let's do it together now. Find the equation of a line that is perpendicular to y equals, or to 4y equals 2x equals 12, and goes to the point 8, -1. Alright, so I've got this equation right here. I want to put that in y equals mx plus b, so I can find the slope. So 4y plus 2x equals 12. I want to get y by itself, so I'm going to do a minus 2x. Bam. 4y equals minus 2x plus 12. Now, to get y by itself, divide by 4. Divide by 4. Divide by 4. Those cancel. Y equals -2 divided by 4. I can simplify that to -1/2 x. 12 divided by 4 is 3, so plus 3. So my original equation, I can say, is y equals -1/2 x plus 3. The slope of that is -1/2. I want to find the negative reciprocal because it's perpendicular. If these were parallel, I would use the same slope. They're perpendicular, so negative reciprocal. So I flip it, 2 over 1, and it started as negative, so it ends as positive, and that's going to be, I can simplify to just 2. So my slope for my equation is going to be 2. And it goes through this point right here, 8, negative 1. Alright, so the point is 8, negative 1. So just like in the other ones, I take this information and put it in to my equation. Y equals mx plus b. My y, this is my y right there, xy. So y, negative 1. My m is 2. My x is 8. Plus b. Alright, let me simplify. 2 times 8 is 16. Minus 16 both sides because I want to find out what b is. Bam, gone. Negative 1 minus 16, that's negative 17. Equals b. Alright, so that's my y-intercept right there. So I've got my slope, 2. I've got my y-intercept, negative 17. So I just write it out. Again, I'll write this a million times. Y equals mx plus b. I keep the y. My m is 2. I keep the x. My b, negative 17. Negative 17. Bam, boom, pow, done. Happy face. Alright. Alright, so we are done. Good luck on the mastery chat. Good luck with the packet. Darkus out. Not out. I'm going to show you a video. This might not look like me, but I promise this is me singing a song about perpendicular lines. Enjoy. Darkus really out this time.
So fine. Could you be a curve or could you be a straight line? Your touch intersecting, feeling so familiar. I think it could be linear. They say, be afraid, but you are like my angel. We make a right angle, different degrees. You and I make 90 in the Cartesian plane. The same 2 dimensions. You cross through my line. And I'm ready to go from the left to the right. Grab me, this is my infection, the point of intersection. Take me, lead me like a squadron, take me through the quadrants. Girl, you're not parallel, your touch so closer. We're perpendicular, Our slopes are in sync, they are so atypical, the opposite reciprocal. Prove that we meet, don't forget your logic, in the Cartesian plane. The same 2 dimensions, you cross through my line, and I'm ready to go from the left to the right. Grab me, this is my infection, the point of intersection. Take me, lead me like a squadron, take me through the quadrants. Girl, you're not parallel.